Hello everyone, Pierce Nation here. Welcome back to a new video for the day. Today we're going to be going over Branded, and if you're a fan of Branded or not, you might want to listen up because I'm going to teach you a little bit about Branded today, and for good reason. Of course, my deck is different than every other Branded deck, but this one was the most 114 and 1 at YCS Hartford. So we're going to be going over this one. I'm going to teach you everything about it. So sit tight. So the deck roughly has, I'm thinking, let's see. Yeah, this deck roughly had 41, but when he actually played this deck, it had 46. So he added a lot of cards to it. He even had a third Albaz in there and a third Tragedy. I'm trying to think of what else he had, but he basically just upped everything just so he could see it a lot more often, because he did say when he played in regionals, like, he barely won because he wasn't seeing a certain card enough. And then I think he upped it too much so that when he did side in, he didn't really get what he was going for, but that's fine. With that being said, we have all these lovely cards, and basically he doesn't, it's not bad. Minor, actually this is actually a pretty good build, like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, there's very minor adjustments I would make to this. Triple Tactics is good. I do like that, especially going off your cross-out designators, because it gives you more opportunities to really get back into the game. Running it like this, with 3 Ash Blossoms, your 2 Ghost Bell, that gives you a total of 6 negates, not including your Called by the Grave, and your cross-out designators to help you, stop these certain cards. So it's very good for that. And other things, I do like the proportions of this deck, to be honest. It's very good. When I had to go back through this deck, which I will eventually, as I'm looking through it right now, the only thing that I don't like about this deck, and I'm going to explain it here in a second, is it's missing a few core cards. Like, don't get me wrong, it's not bad, but it is missing a few core cards. When I look at mine and then I look at this one, it's missing some really big staples. One of them being the Spriggan's Kit. They're not running it here. You have to, I would at least run it. It's a good combo. It's not running Branded Sword, which is a miss. It's not running any of the Theater, which is a miss. You could run all the hand traps in the world, but if you keep extending with the way that this Branded deck does, you will not be able to compete with it. Because Branded, even if you hit it with a few hand traps, it's not going to stop it. It is not. You have to hit this deck and make it literally dead for it to work. So, basically, where this deck is trash, and by all means. So, number one, the number one card to use in Branded is triple copies of Allure of Darkness. Now you'll ask, why would you run Allure of Darkness? You have to banish a dark monster. Great. Every card you use in your Branded deck should be a dark monster. And if you just happen to have Despia and Tragedy in hand for Allure of Darkness, then you could get a 3-up off of 1 card. So you can basically just trade 1, gain 2. It's kind of broken. So it's basically a 3-for-1 deal, because you'll banish your Tragedy effect, get Aliber when he's normal summon, or grab Branded Fusion or Branded in Red, or Opening or whatever. It goes on and on and on and on and Basically, the combo is ridiculous, and if you get opening, you go for opening to special summon Dramature or Albaz or whatever, however you do it. Basically, you can just ditch Edge Imp. Edge Imp will search Frightful Patchwork. You use a Frightful Patchwork. It gets Edge Imp and Polymerization straight to hand. It's an endless cycle, and you're up like 6 cards on that point. So you have like 9 cards in hand, and the combo just keeps going on and on and on and on and on and on and on. And when you have 9 cards in hand, you have 3 negates. Great. Fantastic. It's not going to matter, because one polymerization gets off. One single polymerization. You use 3, send them to the graveyard, Guardian Chimera comes out, pops 1, draws 2 more. Like, it's ridiculous. And the more and more and more and more I kept putting things together, and I'm like, why am I using hand traps? You know, I found that 3 infinite impermanents in this deck is fine. It's not going to bother anything. Simply not. And if you get lost established and you're gaining card advantage like crazy, then when you do fusion summon, and you can add 1 card dimensions on Albaz, great. You can add Tribal Gauge Mercurier when you brand it in red on your opponent's turn, or you Super Poly on your opponent's turn. And then basically Mercurier's here. They try to, try to hand trap a certain effect, or try to effect veiler, whatever. Mercurier can just negate it. And then, you could use Albion to banish the material, banish Tribal Gauge Mercurier, fusion summon, Mercurier's effect will go off once he's banished. Goes on and on and on and on. It's crazy. So basically, the way that the extra deck is put together, as you can see it on the bottom, it has the second Masquerade, the 2 Mirror Jades, Dragostapelia, and Titaniclad. Basically, the deck is actually put together very, very bad. I mean, it's not terrible, don't get me wrong, it's still good. Like, it's still going to get results. The guy who made this deck, when he went up there, he knew what he was doing, obviously, or he wouldn't have won. So, he knew right off the bat that he was going to have a way to, to out his opponents. And I'm wanting to see what his side deck was. Is a side deck on here? It is. Okay, so this is his side deck. So this is his extra deck, and this is his side. The side's perfect, He's got his droplets. He's got the Twin Twisters to handle the Mystic Mime. He's got the Token Collector to handle the Sword Salt and Adventurer token. And he's running 1 Necroworld Banshee and 1 Zombie World in order to, kind of get that play going. I just run Cosmic Cyclone too, 2 copies. I'd run 3 copies of Cosmic Cyclone. And instead of, Necroworld, I would just run the Mask of Restrict. That keeps your opponent from tributing monsters, and you can pull it a lot faster if a clip. Especially if you use Lord of Darkness. You can pull that sucker now. I run double copies of Summon Limit. I don't like that in this deck, because this deck summons a shit ton. And Summon Limit could actually kill your own combo. That's what I don't like about it. And Red Reboot, I do like Red Reboot. That one's fine to keep in. I don't know about the Summon Limit, so I would think something else. Like, I get you don't want them to get above you, but you're playing branded, and branded combos like a motherfucker. So, not quite understanding the whole thing with Summon Limit, but, I'm sure he's figured that out by now. So, yeah, definitely would not use that. The extra deck is kind of jank. He's got the proportions right with the Mirror Jades, the Masquerades, the Lobelion. I would only use 1 Guardian Chimera, if I'm honest. I do have a copy of Guardian Chimera, like, don't get me wrong. I'd only use 1 of Chimera, because I've never really went to a game where I've gotten 2 out, and it actually helped me. because when you go into this SOB, that kind of solves the whole problem. I don't really have a issue once I get him on because all the attack is fucking 0. And my fusions are up to whatever the fuck they are. Because it really doesn't matter, because unless if you can really get through his effect, then you're not going to be doing a lot. And then we have Proskinian. Proskinian is one of the best fucking cards in this deck. Because it can literally take any extra deck monster, almost, I think. I think you can take any. I've actually got the card right here. I actually read the damn thing. Proskinian. Let's see. Fusion, Synchro, Xyz, or Link. So it can grab anything except for, it looks like Pendulum. Perfect. Yeah, I do have a Proskinian, so it's a good card. It's the cheapest. I really don't understand. I get it's hard to get into, and you really have to have a good foundation, a good package in order to be able to pull off Proskinian. But if you get this guy, I cannot pronounce his name with this shit. I think it's Queritus or whatever it is. Despia Queritus, whatever. And then Proskinian, bro, you did this game. Like, you ain't winning that. There's no way. You can do whatever you want. You ain't winning that. Bright Gate, I don't like him. Do not. I would not run this. It's bad. Instead of Bright Gate, I'd run Alba. Alba is so good, especially with the new branded cards that are coming out here in the future with a lot of dragons. Alba is going to be really OP because you could use 3 or 4 dragons on your field, basically just send them to the graveyard. Their effects will go off, and you get Alba who can attack 4 times for 2,500. Alba is so damn good. Plus, if Alba gets sent to the graveyard by any means necessary, and he is in there during the end phase, you can add 1 polymerization or normal fusion spell. Which means you can add Branded Fusion and Branded in Red. Well, not Branded in Red, it's a quick play. But you can add Branded Fusion straight to your hand. It's pretty bugging. That's the thing you can do. And with this lovely dude, turning everything to 0, and then you bring an Alba, attacking for 4 times. By this game. Like, you ain't getting through that. The Mirror Jades, they're just for added effects here. The 2 Masquerade, obviously, if you get the double Masquerades on, you're cutting in the life points pretty hard for your opponent, and you're not leaving them very much to play with. So I do like that. Like I said, Mirror Jade. Mirror Jade does what Mirror Jade does. The Dragon Despia, this is your choice. You can use him, or you can use I think it's Preda. What the hell is his name? I've got him. He just came in this morning. The Starvin Venom Preda Power Fusion Dragon. This guy. Yeah. Put him in the camera for you. There you go. So now you know which one I'm talking about. You can use him too, because he has the exact same requirements, I'm pretty sure. This is a Dark Fusion monster and a Fusion monster. Pretty damn sure. If I go to TCG here, which I'm going to do for you all, just because I really don't give a shit. Boop. I said I'm not trying to be fancy or anything like that. Come on, go TCG for me. Alright. Here we go. So here we go. Let's go Dragon Despia. Hey, Dragon Despia. So he's actually a mid. So basically, they all basically just slowly climb. You could use all 3 of them. I'm not going to for the current time because I don't think it's going to be good for it. But if you did, it would help out immensely, because Starving Venom could help you get into Dragon's Despia, and then Dragon's Despia could help you get into Starving Venom Predaplier Fusion Dragon, which is OP as shit. So you have this guy. He is a Fusion of Dark. Basically, he will place one Predator counter on a monster and negate its effects. And then if you go, let's see, Starving Venom, because normally I would let them get through this, go into Alba, and then, you know, go from there. 2 dark monsters, pretty easy, you know, nothing major. You can use your own, and then you can use his effect to, you know, start gaining the effects of your opponent's cards, and gains the attack, which is OP as shit. Which, if you go against Splites, you use Starving Venom, you're going to be shutting out your opponent pretty vastly, because you can use its effect to really gain the effects of the Gigantic Splite, which means your opponent now can special summon, which means their Splite cards will not work. So, like I said, you might want to look at this guy in the future. Even though he's an old card, he's overused, he's used in like every single deck. Maybe you should pay attention to this guy, because he has some wicked effects. I've actually used him to get rid of Mirror Jade before. I don't even get Mirror Jade on the field. I just use my Starving Venom, and he goes bye-bye. And then they'll get rid of him because he's got the same fucking effect, which doesn't really bother me because I've already used the effect. I'm going to get the effect of Albion once he hits the graveyard. No biggie. So, you have Starving Venom there. And then the other one is Starving this guy, the guy I was just talking about. The Predapower Fusion Dragon. Again, like the fuck. And literally, he is a dark fusion monster and 1 fusion monster. So basically, if your opponent pops on some fusion monster like Tearlaments, they want to talk about, oh, Tearlaments, they're so good. They are fucking trash if you play the right cards. I don't think Tearlaments are worth a shit. I'm not going to play them. You know, I didn't play Branded at first because I didn't see a reason to play Branded, because at the current time, I was looking at the decks people were building, and I looked at the combos they were doing. Yeah, they were neat, but the biggest thing they were going into was the Guardian Chimera, and it was dead. They slowly put in the, you know, the Despian Contreras in the deck, which made the deck that much better, because now you have a way to lower the attack so you can swing for game. I really didn't get into being a fan of Branded until the Dimension Force came out, and Alba and the Starving Venom Predapower Fusion Dragon came out, and I was like, there we go. That's my reason right there. Now, the reason that you use this guy is, if you remember the last guy, he puts a counter, a Predaplant counter on 1 card. So, basically, what this card does now is, once per turn when a card or effect is activated, quick effect, you contribute 1 monster on either field with a Predat counter, and if you do, negate the activation. So basically, on any activation you decide, you can basically just pop your opponent's card and it's negated. And then, if this card is sent to grave, this is the best effect of it, you can target 1 dark monster in your graveyard and special summon it. Which means, if you threw Starving Venom in the graveyard, and they've got this obscure boss monster on, then you could target Starving Venom, bring him out, use his effect, gain the attack and the effect, and then use that effect on your opponent. Like, this guy is so good in so many different ways. I didn't want to use cards like this, because when I build stuff, I like it to be pure, but as I was playing, I was like, you know what, there has to be a way to make a certain deck above and beyond. You know, when I look at decks, I'm like, well, this could be better. Could always be better. Obviously, with this card, it does make it a little bit better, but not quite. While we're at it, we're just going to go ahead and go through the branded line here. I've got a little bit of time to go over everything. I gotta see what time I'm at. I'm at 20 minutes. I can talk for another 10. So the next one I wanted to talk about was exactly Guardian Chimera. So why I only use this as one, I'm going to explain this very vastly. As you see, he is going up because people are starting to catch on and they're buying the fuck out of this. So as you can see, there are still people that are selling it pretty cheap. For me as a buyer, I wouldn't buy any card unless if it has either the direct right here or it has this little mark. That little mark right there. I'm gonna go ahead and try to pull this guy's stuff up and show you. What is a gold star seller? So basically this guy, he has sold a lot. He's a verified seller. As you can see, he's got there's all kinds of those, and it's basically telling you what they are. It's basically telling you that this guy is legit. He sells good stuff, yada yada. So when you look to buy cards that are near mint, look for this icon because he is selling cards ridiculously and he is doing a good job doing it. So you should buy off of this guy. Okay, so basically this cardboard stocks dude right here, this guy right here, as you can see, he's at 100% sales, 2103, and cardboard stocks. So if you're looking for Guardian Chimera, go buy it off this guy right now. Looks like he's got 3 in stock. I want him sold out by the end of the day. Buy that man out, please. Like, please. If they do, that guy has 100%. 2,100 cards he has sold. Go buy that man out. I swear, bro. And he's making a good deal. They're saying it's 46. That's direct. What was the market price? Market price is 41. This guy is selling them for 38 with $99 shipping. That's 39. Go buy that card, dude. Seriously. Do not waste your time with these other guys down here. I mean, look at this. 40, 39. This guy's giving you 38 with $99 shipping. And look at this. That is incredible. To have 100% with over 10,000 sales. The top shelf collectibles. Right here. That is incredible. For real. That is very incredible. So like when I look for people to buy off of, it's guys like this. I look for this because that is great credibility and I know I'm going to get my cards on time. So speaking of which, I'm going to go ahead and explain a certain situation I've had here recently with a certain card. I don't think this is not subtaining my stuff. So basically, I'm going to go ahead and explain what has happened. Okay. Oh. I did not mean to bring that up. Get that out of here. I'm not trying to encrypt anything. So, basically what had happened is I decided, I have the original Albaz. Everybody has seen mine. I'm not real big on, buying the most secret rarity. But I think for this branded deck, where it is actually a meta deck, I'm going to try and buy the most mint and best looking cards for it, because this will be a deck that I'll be using for a long time. Obviously, I'm going to be using these cards for a while, and branded is a archetype that they're going to start limiting and banning some of the cards, and then they're going to keep bringing out more and more Albaz stuff, which means that it's going to be just fine. The only way that they're going to get rid of this archetype as a whole is getting Fallen of Albaz, but he's not really doing anything. So it's the archetype around him that is doing all the work. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and explain the situation I had with a seller, and I'm going to check mine right now on my phone to see if he has replied to me. If not, I will go ahead and explain the situation. So it should be this guy right here. So if I pull this up, because I'll tell you exactly what I sent him too. Exactly what I sent him. So he shipped out my Fallen Albaz today. 2 Alti. I bought 2 Alti Albaz off somebody else. The other guy shipped his first. First day, I went on, purchased, hit it. It said confirmation successful, which was today, which would have been the 7th. By 2 p.m., I had confirmation from that seller that he'd shipped my Albazes, so that they would be here in probably 3 to 4 days. Okay, so, my cards are on the way. Great. Fantastic. Then I get confirmation from this douchebag. So his shop is Project Olympus. And he has a 97.7% of good rating. I find that hard to believe because I bought the cards, purchased right before the 4th of July. So I'm not expecting them to be right away. I don't expect things to come, at my doorstep the minute I say, hey, I want my cards now. No. I'm not like that. I'm not a dick. I'm only a dick when I have to be, with this guy's rating. Okay. So I'm going to go to my messages, and I know I don't have any messages. I know I don't. So let me go to my order history here. Actually, go to message. I can just go to messages and find it. So I hit a cancellation request. That's what I had asked. This is, no, he didn't reply. Of course he didn't reply. Project Olympus, $1.76. $1.76. All I'm asking for you is to put my Alti Albaz in. If they are in bad condition, I swear to God, me and this guy are going to go round and round. So basically, I purchased, the order date is 7/1/2022. And the shipping is a 12 to 15 days, whatever. It'll get here in like 3 or 4 days. Not that big a deal. So basically, all it is just 2 Albaz, $1.76. Not that hard. Put it in an envelope, take it to your post office, mail it on the 5th, no problem. Mail it on the 6th, no problem. The problem is I bought a bunch of cards in bulk, and I bought a shit ton of cards in bulk, like $200 worth of cards in bulk. So you add, those cards into this one, which is $1.76, and bought it all on the same day. The ship date is on 7/7. Took him 6 days to ship my fucking cards. 6 days. Okay. So basically, 7/6, I wrote him, which he did not write back. So I assume he's a coward. And he couldn't accept, my refund, because I already bought off somebody else. So I now have 4 Alti Albaz that are supposed to be here. And when I buy off people, they tend to know it's me, and they stick stuff in the envelope. This guy probably doesn't even know who I am. So, with that being said, I basically just said to him, I said, so I've been patient. I've waited 5 days. No confirmation on my Ultra Albaz cards, which means ultra rare. I said, so what's going on? Period. I said, I bought 2 off you. Every other one of my 20 cards I bought from other sellers are already here and are shipped. And I bought them the same day, respond within the hour, or refund me. He did neither. So I assume he's a coward. That's Olympus, Project Olympus. He has a 97% rating on TCG. Anything Project Olympus I will no longer buy from. If he is the last seller on the website, I will go to Amazon and I will pay double the price rather than buy off of him, because he is a piece of shit. And I cannot buy off of people like that. That is ridiculous. So this, if you know him, if you happen to be watching my videos, you're a piece of shit. I'm just saying, bro. Like, I don't care who you are. That's like, bro, it's been 5 days. Like, ship the fucking cards. Like when people do that, that is the jank stuff that makes me think that people are not legit, and you know, they're just out to better themselves. People be like, oh yeah, I took $1.76 off of a guy. Like, that is like petty shit. So like, you know, when I buy cards like that, you know, at least ship them. Have the common courtesy to ship my cards. Don't, you know, play some bullshit, because, you know, I am becoming well known on YouTube. You know, people really like, you know, my deck profiles, what I do. I show people how to make decks in order to beat meta decks, including Blue Eyes and a little bit of Cyber Dragon. You know, there are certain things that you do in order to get better. You know, I buy these cards so I can keep showing off my deck profiles, and you know, I can help people in the process. You know, I don't do these to be a dick, but I also know that there's people out there that buy cards off TCG and they don't get their fucking cards. Just, I already know. I've had it happen twice. I had to adjust my Dynamorphia deck because one of my cards I ordered did not come here. It's one of my Evil Swarm cards. It's literally a rank 4. Trust me, I know. It didn't come. I also bought, what was the other one I bought? Trying to think of what it was. It didn't come either. But I've been fortunate that all of the expensive cards I buy are showing up. So, Guardian Chimera was the one that freaked me out the most. And number 92. See, I know there was, there's another one that didn't show up. What was it called? That was a cheap one too. I don't remember what it was. But, you know, anyway, you know, it doesn't really matter. As long as my cards are here and they show up, you know, we're on time, I don't really care. But I will not buy from this Project Olympus ever again, because this guy is either, I don't know, I just think he's a coward. He had the common courtesy to update my shipping, that it had been shipped, not refund me, and not respond to me. To me, that is a coward. You couldn't face me face to face. You're an absolute coward. But beyond that, I do have one positive seller. And I will also talk about him in my deck profile. So if you guys know him, know of him, or anything in particular. So I bought some cards. Unfortunately, I couldn't buy my branded openings all in one. You know, I had to buy them from 3 separate sellers, which all 3 separate sellers I did talk to and did, you know, explain the situation, why I bought the branded openings the way I did, because I needed them. You know, I need them for my deck profile, for my deck to really pop off. I need branded opening, and no one around me has branded opening. If they do, it's in their deck. So, you know, I had to really, you know, be like, you know, what can we come up with here? So, you know, I reached out to the sellers, and basically, I had one of them message me first. And the guy who did messages, the guy who messaged me was so nice and kind. He comes from a store on TCG. called Bear House Collections. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put it on the screen right now. So let me see if I can, let's go, let me see if I can search sellers real quick. And I even remember how to do it. I know you can filter stuff, just don't remember how to do it. Here we go. Let's find a seller. I'll go ahead and we'll type in the old Bear House collection. Here you go. We'll search it all. We'll hit this. So basically, what this guy does, he's got 94.1 lifetime. The seller was selling something he wasn't sure of. He said something about a gizmac. See, this should not be a negative because that's not a problem. That's kind of like they couldn't find the card, they gave you a refund. I understand. You know, they're really, you know, talkative. You know, they respond. I talk to them plenty. So I'm not gonna say get 2 saying 1 out of 5, and then 3 is just no comment. So you know, me, I contacted them. They said they shipped my branded opening. You know, I'm talking with this guy constantly. You know, I told him who I was. You know, gave him all the info. This is the guy. So, if you're looking for stuff off of him, go to this guy. We're gonna go into his shop here a little bit. He does mostly Dragon Ball Super stuff. As you can see, that's what he's currently got up right now. I know we're more Yu-Gi-Oh, but you know, if you're looking for stuff like this, he does have them, and he would be a very good person to, you know, try and buy stuff off of like this, because he really responds very quick. He's very interactive, and he tries his best to give people product. Even if he doesn't have it, he will refund. So, you know, he's not just, you know, him and his, I think it's him and his son. Was that right? Him and his son own the store, I think. Yeah, I just opened this online store with my son. Yeah. So yeah, he opened the store with his son. You know, I don't know much about him, but I do know that they are very responsive, and he did talk to me, you know, quite a bit, and he understood where we were coming from, and you know, everything like that, you know, so that I could receive my card, and he would tell me about the shipping. He basically, what he said was this right here. He sent it to me on 7/5. He said, because of work and holiday, I will send your order tomorrow. Thank you for your purchase. He did not have to do that. He did do that out of the kindness of his heart to make sure that, you know, I was content. So I wrote back a little message. I said, okay, thank you. I appreciate the message explaining why. I also understand the holidays as well. I'm a YouTuber. I feel like I should tell you how grateful I am that the cards I bought from you will be on a deck profile at Pierce Nation on YouTube. So thank you for the feedback. And basically, he was telling me about the store and everything. Here, it was his son, how he would follow, like, and subscribe, blah, blah, blah. all that good stuff. So he don't have to do that. I appreciate it if he does, and if you guys are on my videos, you guys can leave comments, like, subscribe, all you want. That's fine. Doesn't bother me a bit, because the cards that you send me will definitely be in this deck profile. I will get all of them. Again, I talked to 3 separate sellers. This is just one of them, because I had to buy the branded openings from 3 different sellers to get it at the lowest price, mint condition. So yeah, I didn't feel like paying $30 a copy for it, because now we're gonna go off this guy, off of Warehouse Collection. Again, this is Warehouse Collection. You've seen how I can get to it and all that good stuff. Again, if you're looking for Dragon Ball Super stuff, that's what he's got up right now. I'm sure he'll have Yu-Gi-Oh stuff here in the future. That one branded opening, I was even shocked that he had it, to be honest. But he did have it, so very, very excited to get that when it gets here. So assume it'll probably be here tomorrow. Probably it'll be here tomorrow, the next day. But let's get back to YouTube. Nope, probably don't have anything in Yu-Gi-Oh. Nope, I didn't think so. So currently it doesn't have anything. So let's go to Yu-Gi-Oh. And basically it's gonna be like, ooh, these are the cards you should get. If I have to be honest, unless if you're building Sharks and Marine Cess or any C deck, do not buy Legendary Duelist from the Deep, unless if you're trying to pull Forbidden Droplet. You're just wasting your fucking time. I've got to be honest. So, that's something that I wouldn't do. I don't know. Let's go ahead and read this. This actually caught my eye. Transaction rollback. Pay after life points and target one normal trap in your graveyard. And this card's effect becomes that normal trap's effect. Well, you can use that in all 3 rows. It's not bad. Snatch drone. Plunder Allure Palace. And then Tindangle. Okay, yeah, okay. This is something interesting. Kind of caught my eye a little bit. So, basically, unless if you're looking for the cards like this, don't even buy it. Because, I mean, I think you'd be better off just buying Forbidden Droplet rather than trying to pull it for cheap. Because you'd end up spending just the same amount of money trying to get it. Like, you could literally buy 3 for, like, I'd say with shipping 175, 180. Rather than, you buy 3 boxes and you try to pull them, you only pull 1, you lose your money. You know what I'm saying? Trust me, I've played the pulling game, and that's normally how it goes. Especially with a ultra rare that is a short print. So, and if you're like, man, I want Forbidden Droplet. If you wait, if you go ahead and get it now, just go ahead and get it, fine. But it'll be coming out in the 10s. It's supposed to be, I think, a super rare or another ulti, something like that. But Forbidden Droplet's getting reprinted again, so they'll keep making Forbidden Droplet, and the price will keep tanking. And as you can see here recently, the lowest point it went down to is 48.13. It has went up a little bit. It is now at 56.93. Sit back and relax, because it's going to drop again. So it's not really going to go anywhere. One card I'm probably going to buy before it actually does go anywhere. Not Access Tunnel. Access Code Talker. Thank you. Apparently we're in Magic the Gathering. I didn't mean to do that. Typed it in wrong again. This is lovely, dude. So I'm more interested in the maximum gold. Not really interested in the other one. I don't give a shit about those. So they're like, yeah, I'd buy for guys like this because you know what you're getting. Yeah, 57. That's pretty mint. So I would do that over any other one any day of the week. These guys got 50,000 sales and they're 99.9, so I would definitely do it off of them before I did it anybody else. Access Code Talker is one that I'm going to be purchasing here in the future, and he's really good, especially for the price that he's at. And the other one's like 90, yeah, about 100. And they're basically about the same people. There's a reason that they get sales. And they're going market price, under market price. They're getting sales. You can't say anything bad about them. So you got those. Want to go with some Blue Eyes cards. So let's type in Blue Eyes. Fuck this. So with Blue Eyes, obviously, Jet Dragon keeps going down by the fucking day. This is the most expensive of the Blue Eyes monsters, and it is not really that good. But I have to be honest, I do have this card. Of course I do. I bought it when it was $15 a copy. It is not anymore, unfortunately. Sorry for your bad luck. If you see my last deck profile, I don't even use this card. It's useless for me. This deck is more for the old format of Blue Eyes I used to play. There was a format before the whole branded fight that I used to use. The reason that we use those to face branded is branded doesn't typically use a lot of hand traps. It might only use Mercurier, might use Ash, or it might use Ghost Bell and Ash and Mercurier. With that being said, this card becomes irrelevant because in order to get something to pop off against branded, you got to be able to fight off the first negate. And with Abyss, if he gets negated, it basically shuts down the whole game for your Chaos Max. So not very good there, and that's basically what he's there for. He's there to get a ritual spell or polymerization, or he is there to get Blue Eyes Chaos Max or another dragon on the inface. So it's all whatever you want to do. For me, I don't typically use Blue Eyes Abyss anymore. It's a good card, don't get me wrong, but it's seen its fair share of days. So I think Blue Eyes Abyss until later on, I will not be using it in any of my decks. So then we're gonna get on to the next one, which is Tyrant. Tyrant has really tanked in price here lately. He got up to about 583, and then he just dropped completely off. So if you want you a Blue Eyes Tyrant Dragon, I think now's the time. I've got two of them. I probably need to get another one because my cards are starting to bend because the Battle of Chaos are not that good. They are bending like a motherfucker. So, and that includes my Dynamorphic cards too. Another good card is this one, which is the Blue Eyes Alternative Ultimate Dragon, the only fusion dragon besides Tyrant that is not in Master Duel. There's a reason this card ain't in Master Duel, because if it was, other decks wouldn't be doing very well. And they're not gonna add the Blue Eyes monsters for quite a while, because if they do, then sorry to tell you, but I think Blue Eyes would will be above Platinum 1, so they didn't want to do that. Obviously, they want to make Brandon look as good as possible. So you have those. Again, you do have spirits in the game. However, this is the secret rare, which it's pretty damn high in price. Really good. It gives you a free graveyard negate. Max, we all know it can't be destroyed by card effects or targeted. And then basically what it does is, you know, inflict piercing damage. So, Book of Moon. Twin is one of the most OP cards that you could use. Because where he can attack twice, and if he doesn't destroy one, he can just banish it instead. So, very good with Twin Burst. Sage is starting to lose price because no one is really using him anymore. The demand for Blue Eyes Sage just went down. No one really wants to use him anymore. I do have this version of Sage. I do use the Blue Eyes Sage. I only use him as a 2, and he's not very useful anymore. Back in the day, I could use the shit out of him. But what I hate about his effect is if you use his effect and then they ash his effect, you would send the White Stone or whatever monster, and you basically lose one of your plays. So, and you lose a body on field, which sucks ass. The Protector is not that good. I'd never use it in a Blue Eyes deck, and I wouldn't use the Priestess either, because she fucking sucks. But to be honest, this is situational. I'd only run one if ever, but I don't, so yeah. That's that thing. I don't run them at all. The Neo is very good for going second. And basically throwing on Piercing the Darkness and basically just going to town with friggin' Neo. Or, you know, just have this and just fucking beat over everything. Let's see here. Now let's see the 22 best-selling cards. Called by the Grave, of course. Triple Tactics. Laundry's Adventure. Master of Chaos. Dictator of D. What the fuck? Despia and Proskinian. Aliber. Regeki. Brandon Red. Water Enchantress. Rite of Asmer. Blood's Tyrant, bro. That's cool as fuck. Regeki. Emergency Teleport, Coding Chimera, Divine Arsenal, Infinite Permanence, Despia and Quergus, Masquerade, Aliber, the Dark Charmer, and number 1 is Branded Opening, which I just bought 3 of these, so yeah, I could see that. Basically, before I sign off, I'm just going to go ahead and go over the Branded Opening here. So as you can see, there's a bunch of ones now. And this has got 10, but it's got 0%. So I'd be afraid to buy off of him. So the price is just going up kind of dramatically at this point. And that's a 16. There's a lot of people that have put in cents, because when I seen it, okay, now we're getting close to where I was. Okay, this is basically where I was. This, so if I hit the next page, right here, this is what I was seeing. So, a lot of people have kind of put their cards on here since I was last on here. But as you can see, it had, for Branded Opening, it had them on there for 30 bucks a copy. And I was like, whoa, I'm not paying that. But it did have 3 sellers on there that did a Branded Opening that were, I think, $11 to $12. And I was like, you know what? I hate to do it this way, but I'm not spending 120 bucks or 100 bucks on Branded Openings. I'll just pay my 30, 36, and go about my damn day. Get them at 3 separate times, and then use them when I get them, you know. It's very, very important to do things like this, and when you do things like this, you kind of get a grasp and kind of understand. So basically, what I'm going to do now is basically load up Project Ignus here. Okay, so now that we're in Project Ignus, hello. So this, before I end the video, I'm just gonna go ahead and go over this real quick, and I'm gonna minimize myself here so you can actually see the cards that are on my screen. No, don't move my screen. Move this. Whee! There we go. So basically, how the branded deck is supposed to look from my perspective is, again, you really don't need Foolish Burial because Branded Fusion is basically Foolish Burial for Despia Tragedy. And if you pull Despia Tragedy and you pull Lord Darkness or Branded Opening, it does it for you. You know, if you pull Opening, it basically adds you 2 Despia monsters to hand, or suppose someone's one adds the other to hand, whatever. Due to Despia Tragedy, which is one of the best plays in this deck. But if you use Lord Darkness, you can get a 3-for-1, and the 1 really doesn't hurt. You could say, yeah, you gotta use 2 cards in order to do that. Not necessarily, because you use the 2 to get a 3 advantage. And if you do it again, and you pull something like Edge Imp Chain, then he kind of gets you a 5-up advantage. So you start off at 5 or 6. I typically go second because I'm very good at breaking boards, especially running Dark Ruler no more. So, like I said, I'm not really prone to hand traps. I really don't care about them. They really don't do anything to me. Running 2 branded in red is priority. You have to use it. I was using 1 before, but then I was having a problem getting Fallen Albas to my hand, so I could, continue my fusion summoning plays, and going into Albion, and then going into Rebellion to shuffle everything back in. But basically, you have to use branded in red when you're comboing like this, so that everything works together. Your opening is basically your starter, what gets everything started. It says Paradise down there, but that is branded Lost. And then you get your 3 Frightful Patchwork, which helps everything go fluently. So this is the deck, what it's supposed to look like, versus what it is. Of course, you see I got the 2 Guardian Chimeras down there. It needs adjusted a little bit, but you do see I got Alba. So yeah. The deck is made to win, and with this setup, it will win. If you're not using Fairy Tale Snow in your deck, you are doing it wrong. So, with this is what my deck looks like. If you want to pause the video, you can get a screenshot of what can I expect Brandon to look like, or what should my Brandon deck look like. Get a screenshot, because this is going to be it. Literally by the end of this week, this deck profile will be up. The only differences is Dragstapelia is not in it, and 1 Guardian Chimera is not in it. All the rest of the ones that are on screen right now are in this deck. All of them. Like I said, you run 3 Patchwork, 2 Edge Imp Chain, 2 Polymerization, 2 Super Polys. You can change it to 3, but I'm keeping it at 2. 2 is just enough. 3 Lore, 3 Opening, 2 Branded Red, 3 Branded Fusion, 2 Edge Imp, 1 Fairy Tale, 1 Adlib, 1 Dramature, 2 Tragedy, 3 Oliver, 1 Trapper Courier, 1 Spriggan's Kit, mandatory, 1 Albion, and 2 Fallen of Valdez. And then for trap wise, we run 3 Impermanents. That's your hand trap. Branded Banishment, Branded Sword, and then 3 Dark Ruler no more, so you can break right through those boards. So with that being said, that's what we got. We don't run Forbidden Droplet because I think Dark Ruler no more is just a little more little more better. Now this might change with splites, you know, and then maining the Herald or the tier elements, and then running the Herald of the Arclight. Actually, no, it won't. It won't change a damn thing because it's a monster effect. Never mind. I'm an idiot. Ignore me. It might change to the splits. It might. Very doubtful, but might. But beyond that, you know, the deck is very, very powerful. And as you can see, you don't need a lot of hand traps to get anything to work. When I do the deck profile, I will do a combo video of instructions explaining why the deck is very good and why it pops off the way it does, and why it is one of the best branded decks you can build. You can take it to your locals and you can literally go 8-0 probably. Depends on how you pilot the deck, I will say. This is my build. Obviously, you know, my build is a lot different from that other guy's build because he went across designators, Ash, Ghost Spell. I would like to throw Ghost Spell in here. I just don't know where I'm going to put it. So, with that being said, this is my build. What I think's good. Now, if I get the cards, I would definitely take out one Dark Ruler, all 3 Imperms, and I would go double Ash and double Ghost Spell. I feel like that is a very, very powerful statement there. And then basically just add 3 cross-out designators and you're done. That's basically all you gotta do. I would leave 2 Dark Rulers in there because normally when you lower Darkness, you're either pulling a hand trap or you're pulling Dark Ruler, so it works out very, very well in the end. So with that being said, this is all the time I have for today. I'm Pierce Nation, and I will see you guys in the next video. Pierce Nation out.